What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We're gonna take this computer case here, an older one. It is a Antec 1200, I think, if I remember correctly. And I'm gonna take this baby apart, and I'm gonna disassemble everything, get all the grills off, and I'm gonna paint it white. I'm gonna make it look really nice, and eventually I'm going to take all of what's in that case right over here, and I'm gonna put it in this case right here. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started on that. The first thing I gotta do is start taking stuff apart, so let's go. right, so I had to stop the music because I had to talk about this a little bit right here. So, what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to get this radiator to fit in between the tower cooler and the two fans. And I can't get rid of the two fans, they are part of the case. If I get rid of the fans, then I get rid of a feature of the case that controls the fan's speed, and then it would just look kind of really dumb. You'll see that. I'll show a picture of that later. Um, and so basically, I'm just trying to figure out what's the best way to do this. And I come up with the idea, all right, I'm going to put the cooling fan for the tower in between the two towers. Lord of the Rings reference. Anyway, basically, that didn't work. And the reason why that didn't work is because the bottom of my cooler touched the top of my um, graphics card. And so I wound up having to put the radiator in the front of the case. So yeah, and in this piece right here, I wound up bending these two tabs on the end in because it was just a big pain in the butt. And I'll explain more about that here in a little while. Um, but yeah, it was just this was just a me coming to a realization. Holy crap, this works. And then here in a second, this is the piece that those metal pieces go onto this plastic piece here, and then it slides into the front of the case. Popping in at the end of the video because there's a few things that I do want to address about working on this case. The very first thing that I want to address to anybody who is going to do this with an old case, please understand that it is not going to be a walk through the park. There was lots of little things that I ran into that were problems. For example, this case is not meant to have an AIO in it at all, and I struggled to get the AIO to fit in there properly. What I wound up having to do was take this front fans out and screwing it to the fan through the fan shroud. It's kind of you know what I'm saying? So, but it fit. It is secured well, so it's not gonna like fall out on me or something like that. And so that was really weird. There's not very good cable management. However, as you're gonna see here in a little bit, I did do my best, and it's not the best that I could possibly do with a case, but it's the best I could do with this case. There is not a good so the power supply has to pull air from inside the case instead of pulling air from the outside the case like most modern cases. What is the other thing that was a pain? But oh, painting this thing. At the beginning of one of the videos that I showed, probably the very first when I'm starting to take it apart, I showed what kind of paint I was going to use. For the love of God, if you were going to spray paint something, go spend some money on some good spray paint. Don't get the cheap stuff. Don't do it. You'll hate yourself. Trust me. I wound up spending another 10 or 15 bucks on spray paint, the good spray paint, and it finished the case up and it made the case look pretty good. I'm definitely not the best painter, and so I have a few things that I learned that I suggest that if you do decide to paint your case, you should do before you paint. First things first, you should take some sandpaper and scuff everything. I did not do that, and so I wound up with paint flaking off and chipping off. As a matter of fact, there's already a little bit that you can't really see, but it's there. I see it, and so it bugs me. So I'll wind up going back over all of it eventually. What else was a struggle? Oh, because it's an old PC case, it has a ton of hard drive storage, which you think would be good, except all the things that go inside the case for the hard drives to sit in, they're not there. They're just not there. And so I mounted it on the backside of the case, which looks really, really good, but I wish that I could more securely mount them because each one of those hard drives and the SSDs are being held by 2 screws apiece. So I would like to be able to put more in there, but I guess it's better than having none. And they're not flopping around the cage inside the case, and so it looks really good. Other than those things, oh, and the fact that I wish I could change the fans out so it's not just blue, but whatever. I
It's whatever, just fine. Other than that, I don't have a lot of complaints. It's awesome. I'm glad that it came out looking as good as it did. And it could look a whole hell of a lot better because I'm definitely not a painter. I'm just not. But it looks damn good for somebody with some spray paint and some time. So yeah. So you know what? Here's some B-roll. Thanks guys for watching, for just viewing any of my videos in general. I appreciate it so much, and I will see you guys in the next one.